All right, in the last video, we talked a little bit about manually evaluating chatbot responses, and I shared that my chatbot was tripping, and sometimes your chatbot might hallucinate, in which case it's making up facts, but when it's tripping, it's spitting out facts that are a little bit distorted. So I concluded in our last video that I would probably need to re-engineer the prompts. There are two prompts specifically that I wanted to tweak, and what I found is that the best way to uh, create prompts or re-engineer prompts for GPT-4 or GPT 3.5 or whatever is to actually use GPT-4 to do it. And so I like to use Playground in chat mode. It's pretty much the equivalent to just using Chat GPT and then using the GPT-4 model with the maximum token length and bringing the temperature all the way down to 0. Um, I like to just start here, and because then I have the system prompt if I ever need to use it to like add context along the way or something. And then the way I approach my prompts sometimes is really very casually, with the knowing that like I'm probably not gonna get it in the first shot, right? Like I'm not my initial prompt is never gonna be sufficient, but if I approach it conversationally, like I'm talking to someone, then it kind of allows for the thought flow to flow. All right. So what do you think about these prompt templates? How can I make them more effective for GPT-4? That was my initial prompt. And then I just copied and pasted all of my code there, knowing that it will be able to parse out my code for exactly what I'm referring to. And so the answer was kind of generic. It told me to update my model name to GPT-4. It already was GPT-4. Told me to experiment with different values for temperature. I don't need to do that. So it kind of gave me some vague or generic feedback that didn't really apply to my prompts. So my response, again, casually, was really? So there are no ways to improve my prompts? And then it responds, I apologize if my previous response did not fully address your concerns. Here are a few more suggestions to potentially improve your prompts. And so these suggestions were actually good. Um, Making them more explicit, but like I already know that, right? I wanted it to kind of just kind of get me there faster, right? So I'm like, good feedback, anything specific to my prompts. And then I finally get what I was initially looking for. So apologies for the confusion earlier. Here are some specific suggestions for your current prompts. So what this implies, right, is that if I were to go back and refine my initial prompt in this, like right here, as I'm doing it right here, I would go back here and I would say, what do you think about these prompt templates? How can I make, that was good. But then I'd add that specificity, right? Because apparently that's what it responded to down here. So anyway, I had already concluded that I needed to add this instruction within the prompt to please answer the following question only using the context from past tickets. And then it gave me this added part, provide a clear and concise answer. And then gave me another a good recommendation here for the LangChain, basically the prompt for the chat agent, and included this part about what our support ticket database contains, past support tickets, including customer issues, replies from support agents, and relevant code snippets. Only use code and information from the context provided. Right. So this is why our agent was tripping initially, because I think it was using code from the context provided, but it was like omitting parts, or like just I don't know. I don't know what it was trying to do. And then this last bit here about consider the issue step by step and provide a helpful response. So I was satisfied with that. And because I got something I was happy with, it was like, all right, cool. I stretched it a little bit further to also generate a better tool name and description. So the way our chatbot is working is we've got a tool that queries a vector database and returns some similar past tickets for our chatbot to then generate an answer for, right? So that tool, the way it decides whether it should just like talk right back to you or it should use the tool is based off the tool name and description. And so I said, GPT-4 uses the tool name and description to decide when and how to use the tool. How can I improve those? And so to improve the tool name and description, you can follow these guidelines. And it gave some good guidelines and gave me a better description than I had previously. So previously the description was just always use this tool to answer support questions. The support ticket database is a vector store of past support tickets. It kind of got the job done, right? But then this description, I think, does a much better job. It says, use this tool to answer support questions related to squarespacethemes.com. The support ticket database is a vector store of past support tickets containing information about customer issues, support to agent responses, and relevant code snippets. The tool is most effective for answering questions. Well, not really theme installation. We changed that. Plugin installation, customization, and troubleshooting. Always consult the database before providing a response to ensure accuracy and consistency. So I made all of these changes to our prompts here and tool descriptions, and ran the same query that we did here. I ran it again, and I got a much clearer and concise answer. And our chatbot is not tripping anymore, at least for this query. So we're going to keep it moving, and going to keep testing every support ticket that comes through. I'm going to run it through here and evaluate the response until I get to 100. Basically, as soon as I get to 100, flawless responses, then I feel more confident letting it out in the wild. But until then, I'm going to keep going. And if our chatbot hallucinates or starts tripping, then we'll have to go dig under the hood again and see what needs to happen. But I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. And so I think the next step with this particular chatbot is to create a better feedback loop, right? So as we answer new support tickets, feeding that into the database more seamlessly, because right now, for example, this chatbot is good up until maybe I think April 2023, right? So like any questions that tickets we've resolved since April 2023, our chatbot doesn't know about that, right? So keeping that fresh is something that I'll have to work on next, as well as just some of the UI functionality here. So when I clear the conversation, it's not actually clearing the chat history at the moment. So there's a little functional tweaks I have to make as well. But as far as evaluating, the whole point of this video was to say, and is to say, that when you're generating prompts for GPT, it is best to use GPT to improve on them, because it's It's kind of like it knows itself best, right? It knows what it responds to best. All right. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, peace.